whole spring with this offense kind of getting moved as you know, and what do you like about just the way that you have around you?
Yeah, definitely. I think what's unique about us offensively is we have a lot of different playmakers and a lot of different positions. It's not necessarily like we have a super heavy running back room compared to our receivers or super heavy receivers compared to our tight ends. So I think our ability to be balanced and attack defenses just in a bunch of different ways makes us unique. Hopefully, we can continue to develop in all phases offensively.
Rodney, for you, big play there for you, taking the ball from Chris Bell. But before you get to that, just kind of talk about your transition to Louisville, how it's been this spring, how you think you've progressed since you've been here.
Coming from the type of school I came from, it's been a big transition. Different speed of the game, different facilities, different resources. I think the people of Louisville, coaches, staff, training staff, players, everybody has made it an easy transition. So when I got here, it's a family. I was able to just step right in. Same thing with Miller.
Miller, as far as your growth throughout the spring, kind of sum that up, and where do you feel like you still need to grow? As you still have a lot of time left. What does that look like for you from now until the season truly starts and fall game starts?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think like anything with increased amount of reps, you become more comfortable, and growth kind of happens naturally that way. But I think it's important to be intentional on what you're working on. I think just continuing to work at it until you have mastery of the system is really important. Obviously, Coach Brom's system is notorious for being complicated. And that's one of the reasons I came here is to push myself. So when you undertake a task like that, it takes a certain amount of time. So I think just continue to push myself to completely master the system, and then just continue to grow with this locker room, to grow with this team, and find my unique leadership role for this team in this locker room. I think every team, their leadership structure is a little different, and you got to find how you fit into that and how different guys need to be pushed. Just because you can't talk to certain guys how you talk to other guys. Like some guys need to be pushed in certain ways that are different than other ones. So I think just continue to learn the locker room and how I fit into that, and what I can do to best help our team win games.
Yeah, how different is the system from the one you're used to playing in terms of, is it a total start over for you, and how far along are you in mastering it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's not start from zero. I mean, it still is football in some respect, but it's very different. It's a lot more on the quarterback, which like I said before, is one of the reasons I came here, because I wanted to evolve and become the best version of myself as a player. I would say Coach Brom, in my recruiting visit, we kind of watched a whole deep ball tape, and that's something that he takes a lot of pride in, and I think that we take a lot of pride in here, and that's a little different than what I'm used to. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to continue to grow within the system, continue to work with Coach Brom. Both Jeff and Brian have done a great job. They're very different coaching styles, but I think they play off one another very, very well, and that's been good for me as a quarterback to kind of be able to use both of them as a tool and as a resource. And I'm going to put everything I have into it to continue to master it, but I'm definitely not there yet.
Rodney, for you, when you were looking at the look, what I guess about this defense was working for you, and how do you feel like you kind of acclimated to just the scheme and those different things?
I'll tell you a funny story. The first time I talked to the corner coach, Coach Steve Ellis, I thought he was already my coach. And so I just understood the passion that I talked to each coach on the defensive staff, the passion, the intensity, the understanding of the game, the understanding of what they want you to do whenever you come in. They understand where you come from. They set a plan before I even stepped foot on campus. And so building that relationship, from that first phone call, like I said, I thought he was already my coach, and I was like, yeah, I'm fired up to play for him. And I wasn't even, I never visited, I never met him face to face, but I appreciated the phone call was everything for me. I don't know that it left a impact on me, but I was ready to see what it was in person as well.
For both you guys, now that spring is over, it's obviously you've got other things to do, but between now and when fall camp starts, how important are those things, and how important is leadership to make sure everybody's on track to do what they're supposed to be doing?
Going into summertime, we only have 2 months, and then we're going into fall camp. I think we take that time to get even closer. Everybody has to find their role. Everybody has to understand what's the goal at hand, and everybody has to work towards that goal. So we have to all, vow to that. We all have to put the same effort in. We all have to push each other, and that's the only way we're going to get where we want to go. As far as leaders are going to show themselves. Even the team even push out leaders. The team may even ask certain guys, to lead in different ways, just like people have to play roles.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll just echo what Rodney said, but all of it's important. The 8 months that lead up to the season, every single week, workout, practice, meeting, whatever it is really important. And I think, when you have the goals that this team does, you have to be able to take advantage of every piece of time you have together. Summer is a really important period, and I think it puts a lot on the players because a lot of the stuff you do is player run. So I think you see kind of the culture of the team begin to form. And it's also, how it works now, like it's after the spring portal window. So when we come back in summer, that's our team. That's everyone that's going to be here. Spring's over, winter's over, spring's over, and now we turn our eyes onto, okay, what do we need to do to put ourselves in the best position to go win an ACC championship? And, I think we'll do that and continue to meet that challenge, but it's something we're going to have to do each and every day.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you.